Hi, welcome back. The design is done. I have pre-production samples of all three risers. Now I want to do some testing. And so I want to build a contraption that I could put the bow in and then figure out the poundage at different draw lengths. And I also want to see if I put the same limb in each riser, how the riser will affect the draw weight of the bow. And I also bought a 60-pound limb that I want to see, if I crank this jig all the way up, how does the riser perform? I basically want to get as much information I can, peak draw force, kinetic energy, to get to a force draw curve of each riser, depending on the limb I put in. So the next step is to design this jig, build it, and use it. So let's get started. So this is what the design ended up looking like, and that's what we're going to be building. I 3D printed a way to hold the handle like this, so this will be at the front here, and then we'll have the crank, back here, and then we have the scale kind of in the middle that will, have readouts as we pull on the bow. So this is the finished jig. We put the bow in right there. That's the scale. And then we have the crank in the back. So let's do some testing. The first riser we're going to test is a 17-inch. I have 45-pound limbs installed. So we're putting it in the contraption. We hook this over that, and then I have a ruler set up and I marked my draw length. So we're going to go so it's 30, a little bit over. So we're at 53. So the next thing we're going to do is going to put these limbs in the 19-inch and then see what difference that makes. Alright, so we put the limbs in the 19-inch riser. Now we're going to do the same thing. So put it in, hook it. So we're about 50, 51. So it's about 2 pounds lighter than the 17-inch. So just thought that was interesting. So we put the same limbs in the 21-inch. So let's see how this one performs. So we're about at 49 pounds at the same draw length. So it's consistently 2 pounds less per size of riser. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a force draw curve. So I want to see what the poundage is every inch as I pull it back. So let's do that. And then we're going to enter it on the spreadsheet and it'll create a force draw curve. And I'll share that after I do this test. So the last thing I want to test is I put these 60-pound limbs in the 19-inch riser, and these are the heaviest limbs I could buy. So I just want to kind of see what data I can get out of that. So we're at about 64 pounds at my draw length of 32 inches. So I thought that was interesting. So let's see if you go. Oh, that's like 78 at 36. I don't know, by 80. So this riser's pretty strong. Well, that was a lot of fun. It was really interesting to find that as the riser goes up in size, the poundage of the bow drops by 2 pounds almost consistently. And it was really cool to test the limits with using these 60-pound limbs and cranking it all the way up to 80. I was a little bit nervous there, but I think the limbs would break before the riser does. So, you know, all this testing just makes me feel really good about my design. And, you know, I'm just going to do some more shooting now. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. And check back for more videos later. And thank you. Bye.